So this section on pages 73 and 74 are just some money tips when it comes to buying a product. Now, if you buy anything on Amazon, or even if you buy something at Walmart, you go into electronics and you buy a laptop computer, they will always ask you at the checkout, do you want to buy a service contract? And what they're asking you to do is buy a warranty or a guarantee that for a certain amount of time that the warranty spells out to you, if something happens to it, they will pay to have it fixed. Some of the warranties are even so good, like for your phone and stuff that you can buy, that even if you drop it, lose it in the Kenai River, or abuse it, they will pay to have it replaced. One of the key things to consider when you're looking at a warranty or a service contract is how much is the stinking service contract going to cost you. I've bought things like a washer and dryer that cost me $1,200, and I was able to buy a service contract for $200 that lasts for 5 years. So that means I gave them an extra $200 so that if anything happened in the next 5 years to my washer and dryer, Home Depot would send somebody out and they would fix it. And it wouldn't cost me anything above that $200 that I already paid. So to me, that can be very, very well worth it, because having somebody come out and fix your washer and dryer could cost a lot of money. So it's a guarantee, it's insurance, you could say, so that you don't have to pay any more to have that fixed. Cars, you buy a new car, and it comes with a 3-year warranty or a 36,000-mile warranty, which means that anything that happens to it during that time period, the car manufacturer will pay for. You don't have to pay for it. Some people buy a longer service contract so that if anything happens for, say, 6 years or 100,000 miles, it's paid for. So you don't have to worry about coming up with the money. If your transmission goes out or something happens to it, you just take it in, they fix it. You've already paid an amount for the contract, so you don't have to pay anything extra then. So service contracts can be useful, but sometimes they're ridiculous because, maybe you bought something like a Bluetooth speaker for your phone. It was $50, and you go to the counter, you pay for it, and they say, oh, would you like a service contract? Well, how much is it? Well, it'll cost you an extra $20 for a year. Well, no, I'm not paying $20 just to keep my $50 Bluetooth speaker from me having to pay for it if it breaks, because it's a $50 speaker. It's not really worth it to me. So anyway, in the middle of page 73, there is a computer that we're looking at, and the service contract on this computer is $350 per year. That means every year you're paying $350 in order for somebody else to fix that computer if, and that's the key word, if it breaks. Chances are the computer is going to be old and not very powerful anymore in a real short amount of time, and you're probably not going to want to keep it for years and years. And it gives a list of the replacement parts in order to fix. So you pay $350 a year. Well, a lot of things are going to have to break on that computer for you to at least get your money back on it. So that's iffy. Do I want that service contract? Do I want to pay that much for it? So it can be quite expensive there. So on pages 73 and 74, look at the questions there. And let's look at number 4. Your PC was repaired 10 times last year. Well, that's ridiculous. Anybody that has a computer that needed repaired 10 times is a piece of junk. So you had bought a service contract for last year. Therefore, what was the most each service call actually cost you? Well, you look back on what it costs for a service call, And at the top on the right-hand column, it says service cost, $75. Every time they looked at your computer, it cost $75. Well, if you had it repaired 10 times and you did not have a service contract, you would take that $75 service call times 10 times, and it would cost you $750. If you had the service contract, it would have only costed you $350. So it says, what was the most that each service call actually cost you? Well, you paid $350 and you had 10, so let's divide that by 10 service calls. That means it costs you $35 for each service call compared to the normal rate of $75. So you saved, you got better than half off by doing that. But the problem is you had to have that stupid computer repaired 10 times. Are you kidding me? So anyway, so some things to consider, but I would like you to do numbers 1 through 6 on pages 73 to 74 over this section.